have two in your chat box so that there's more of an interactive session. So, like I was saying, all of us have goals, right? So, say today, maybe your goal today, right now, is sitting in this session and listening to us talk. Maybe my goal right now, my short term goal right now is to give you all this session, to teach you all about how to lay down your master plan to work towards your ultimate goal. So we all do have goals. Say even like if we are taking a plane, if we are going to like go somewhere, right? If you don't board an airplane without knowing where it goes, or you don't send a letter without an address, it's all important. Like where you are going is important, because things like this, goals, give our life a direction. In the same way, if say common example, we could take a common example saying, if your mother tells you go bring this, and she does not really specify what it is, are you all going to know what she's saying? Same way, like, or instead she says, go bring some vegetables, so you going out has a direction, it has a purpose, as in where you are heading, right? Same way, our life, we need a direction, and that is why we need goals for life. In 1979, there was a very famous research that was done in Harvard uh, with their MBA program students. And one thing they always asked the entire student population of the MBA program was asked was, have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? And they found out that 84% of the people had actually no goals. They didn't really think about, okay, where my life is headed, or what am I going to do after my program is done, after I'm done with this studies. 13% of them knew their goals. They knew, okay, once I'm done with this program, once I'm done with this degree of mine, this is the place, or this is where I'm headed. And 3% of them had actually set their goals on paper, they had written it down, and they knew, they had planned as in where they are headed towards. 10 years later, these people were interviewed again. All of this batch, the MBA program batch of 1979, was interviewed again. And they were asked, and it was found out, so they found out that this 13% who knew their goals actually made much more money, or they were much more successful than the 84%. They were 2 times more successful than the 84%. And this 3% who actually sat down, who wrote their goals on paper and had a plan as to how to progress with life, were much more successful than the remaining 97%. So, what am I trying to say? The minute we put down our goals, we set our goals, we make a plan, we know where our life is headed, we know the direction where our life is headed, it starts making more sense. It gives us purpose, it gives us direction. So, in the famous words of Tony Robbins, he says that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So say you say, I want to pass bachelor's, I want to pass my bachelor's program. The minute you write it down, I want to pass my bachelor's program with so and so percentage, you make it visible first for yourself. Even though it is far in the future, you make it visible for yourself. And that is the first step into turning the invisible into visible. Now, what are your goals? What are some of the goals you have? We all have goals, right? Some can be short term, some can be long term. Like my long term goal for today may be educating y'all and eventually seeing you all implement these things in your life. My short-term goal for today is just telling you all things about smart goal setting. So what are your goals? Do you all have goals? Have you all written it down? Have you all set the plans? So we as humans, we have goals for different areas, right? We could have goals for our academics, we could have relationship goals, we could have financial goals. Say, by the time I am 25, I want to be rich by so and so rupees, like say 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, whatever. So we all have different kind of goals. We have social goals, we have spiritual goals, we have career goals. So me having a goal like in a year I want to progress my career. So say if I so whatever, so like me attaining a promotion, so that is a goal, like I give myself a goal. So we have a lot of goals that we can have. It can be family goals too. So we all have goals. Now what makes a goal different? Okay, so when you have goals, your goals need to be smart and real. Now goals are something, if I ask you, you all will probably tell me about how you always bring a new year with new year resolutions, right? But somehow those things are not followed through. We are not able to follow through our new year's resolutions. Why? Why is that? We make our resolutions on the 1st of January, and by the time it is 3rd of January, or by the time the January is over, we are just done with our resolutions. Why is that so? So many times we forget that our goals need to be smart, our goals need to be real. Now, what do I mean by having a smart or a real goal? So SMART is basically an acronym. Okay. So S would start for being specific. Take for example, if you just say, I want to pass my bachelor's in arts, bachelor's in commerce, or I want to pass my bachelor's. Is your goal specific? Is it specific? So when I say being specific, you have to know what exactly you want. So you saying things like, I want to pass my bachelor's. So I passed my bachelor's and this is 2021. So another 2 years with a first class or with a distinction in my subject. So that is you being very specific. You're giving the time, you're giving what you want. So that is being specific. So no matter what goal you're setting, no matter in which area, it can be a personal goal, it can be a career goal, it can be something dealing with your academics. So things need to be specific. The more specific you are, the more clear it is for you. Secondly, your goal must be measurable. How is it that you're going to know that you have achieved your goal? What is the scale you're going to use to know that, okay, I have achieved my goal? Like with academics, maybe your percentage. If you have said that, like, for my ISAs, I am going to get, say, 80% score, overall score in your ISAs. So that is going to help you measure. If you've attained your 80%, that is going to help you measure your goal. So your goal must also be measurable. You have to know how, whether you have achieved it. Second, the third aspect in the acronym is achievable. Is your goal achievable? Is it possible for you? Or, like, for example, if I say things like, if I set a goal like by the end of October, I want to climb Mount Everest. Is it achievable? Have I have I considered everything? It is specific, it is measurable, but is my goal achievable? First of all, I am not very athletic. So that comes to, like, that brings us to the next acronym, which stands R, which stands for realistic. Am I being real with my goal? I am not fit. I need to work out. I need to like train enough to achieve that goal. So me setting a goal like that, even though it is specific, it is measurable, it is timely, I don't know whether it is achievable. I should be realistic about it being achievable. So that is one. And then finally, we come to timely. No matter what goal you're setting, it has to be time bound. See, the thing with us is y'all know best. When you are given an assignment, when there are ISAs, it always happens that tomorrow the ISA deadline, tomorrow is the ISA deadline, and we just sit with our ISAs or we just sit with our assignments today, right? So time, giving yourself a time restraint, like restricting yourself to that time. Say whatever it is. Say I want to be more fit. Okay, I want to lose. Say if I am 70 kgs, I want to lose 5 kgs within a so and so time. By the end of this year, I want to lose 5 kgs. So I'm setting a time for me. It is timely. So smart goals need to be time you have to have a restraint, time restraint, so that you know that there is a deadline approaching. I need to gear myself up to achieve that goal. So this is how the acronym works. So my smart goal for today, like that would be your smart goal. So my smart goal for today is to create awareness among the first year students about counseling facilities. So I am a counselor and I want all my first years to know about what counseling is. And it is a facility that you all have two counselors in college, and you all should take the benefit of this facility. Now, is my goal specific? Am I specific with what do I want? Yes, very much. I want you to be aware of counseling as a facility. Now, what do I do for that? So I need to tell you about counseling, what counseling is, right? So counseling is a safe space where you get to talk about your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, or anything under the sun, whatever is disturbing you or whatever is on your mind. So anything and everything in a very safe space where you won't be judged, and neither is what you're going to say to us be told to anyone else. So it's a very safe space which is non-judgmental and which is very confidential. So that is the main aspects of counseling. Now, if this is my goal, it is my goal to tell you all about the facilities. How am I going to measure that I have achieved this goal of mine? How do I know that I have received this goal, that I have achieved this, I have reached there? Okay, maybe the one way I would know is if y'all can contact us. So if my first years get to the counselors for help regarding their career, their academics, their relationships, so anything like that, so that would be my scale for measurement. How do I know that I have achieved my goal? So coming to the achievable part, is it in my power to achieve this goal? Can I achieve this? And what steps do I take to achieve this goal? So it is very much in my power. But one thing that would have been an obstruction, that obstacle which we have overcome, is we having it over the online MOOC. So if at all I had waited for you all to come to college to let you all know what counseling is about, maybe I would not be able to achieve it this fast. But the fact that we are doing it over an online podium makes it much more easy, right? So many a times when we are setting goals, to achieve it, we always have obstacles. Say, for example, take you studying. Okay, so for you studies, sometimes you realize that it is a little difficult. Okay, so that's an obstacle you have. So your goal remains the same. How you're going to achieve it, maybe you have to just take a small U-turn and make another path for you, carve a path for you to get there. So that is achievable. Now, Then the fourth aspect to it is it being realistic or the goal being relevant. So, can I realistically achieve it? And how is it going to help me? Is it relevant to me? Me telling you all about the counseling facilities. Is it relevant to me? It very much is. So, basically, counselors are here to help you, right? So, me telling you, me creating this awareness about the counseling facilities is going to be very relevant to what I do in the college, because this is my job, this is what my job requires me to do. So when I have set a smart goal for myself, I'm specific. I know how to measure my goal. I know whether I'll be able to achieve it. So I know that my goal is achievable. I know that my goal is realistic and relevant. And I also know how long it is going to take for me to reach my goal. Today, I create awareness about counseling facilities. I hope by at least this year end, whenever y'all need us, that y'all are going to respond back. Y'all are going to contact us. So my time is here. Same way, when you set goals, your goal needs to be smart. It needs to be very specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be realistic, relevant, and it needs to be timely. So it is not enough if your goals are just smart. They need to be real too. So how do you set a real goal? So the acronym for real stands for realistic, achievable, and lucrative. Now, what do I mean by a goal resonating with you? Now, real goals are set on emotionally stimulating criteria to set and achieve plans or objects or anything we want. So we need to know why our goals matter. For example, take you achieving your bachelor's degree, right? So you all have taken your admissions for BA or BCom or for your bachelor's, whatever it is. So why does your goal matter? What is it that is really important for you? And how are you going to know that your efforts matter? That whatever, now you have to attend your online classes. I know sometimes you find it difficult to. You have to submit your essays, you have to answer your semester end. So there is a lot of things you have to do. But why are you doing this? So you have to find a connection. It has to be attached to your core values. So why are you doing this? For your ultimate goal, that is to achieve your bachelor's degree. And why do you want to achieve your bachelor's degree? For you ultimately to get a job, to do better in life, basically. So our goals need to resonate with you. Another, say, let's take another example. So I knew of the student who used to hate working in groups. Okay, so she was an introvert, and basically anything to deal with a group would be very anxiety inducing for her. So she would kind of stray away from all of it. What happened was this student didn't really have great, like, her conditions at home weren't really great. So few days later, when I got to see this student had enrolled herself into a few extracurricular activities. And I was pretty surprised as to, she, something like anything to do with crowds, anything to do with speaking to people, used to really induce a lot of anxiety in her. And then later she told me how maybe this would be my podium to finally get to know people, to learn to talk, and eventually when I'm presenting for my essays, for my semester and exams, whatever, when I have presentations, I'll be confident enough so that I get that many marks, so that I get a better degree. I get that grade I need to. So for her goal, what resonated with her is she really wanted to improve her conditions at home. So she wanted to do that, and she wanted a better degree so she could get a job, a better job, something that would give her that. So goals need to resonate with you. You need to find the why. Why am I doing this? Secondly, even with something, a deep rooted meaning like that, sometimes we lack the willpower. We just lack the motivation. We just feel like, I just can't do it. And if we are going to achieve anything at all in this world, we need to empower ourselves. See, goals, one thing about personal empowerment is we need to believe in ourselves and we need to power through whatever we are feeling, right? So, many a times there are a lot of thoughts when you have a goal, you start questioning yourself. Am I good enough for this goal? Will I be able to achieve this? I don't think I'm talented enough, right? So we have a lot of self-sabotaging thoughts like this. And self-sabotaging thoughts are never a recipe for success, right? So we need to do away with these things. So instead, we should tell ourselves that we are talented enough, we can do that. Or if we don't have the skill right now, we can learn. We have to learn, right? So this is the way we empower ourselves. This is the second aspect of a real goal. The third aspect of a real goal is a goal needs to be actionable. Can you put it into action? Is your goal to follow through a goal? It needs to be actionable. You have to be able to put it into action. For example, many a times we set goals, and if we don't have immediate results, we give it up, right? Same thing happens with us with our New Year's resolutions, or anything for that matter of fact. If it does not give us instant results, we get bored, or we just feel like there is no more energy in you to put more efforts in it, because sometimes it's a long road, right? So we need, in these times, we need to realize that every step forward counts. So breaking our goal into actionable chunks. So let me give you an example. So we had the student who had a little too much on his plate, like when it comes to responsibilities. And you all know how the pandemic has been really cruel to the financial aspect of a lot of families. Same way, the student's financial, he was not really stable. His family was not really stable with their financial aspects. So the student had to take up a job to help the family. And right before the semester would end, he would like start his sixth semester. He was beyond exhausted with everything that happened, but right then he was like, I can't do this anymore. He was, I'm tired and this is a little too much for me. The success was right around the corner. The goal, achieving the ultimate goal of completing the bachelor's degree, was right around the corner. But that time he found it difficult to get there because it was a little too much for him. In this case, when the action, when it takes you feel that you can't do it anymore, or you are tired, that is when the last aspect of a real goal comes in, the lucrativeness of a goal. Before we get there, just another thing, when you break down a goal into actionable chunks, say you say a bachelor's degree, so first year, second year, third year. So in the first year, like you have to complete your first year. This is the, like, I'm going to sit down and for the semester end, this is the percentage I want. So I'm going to sit down, study, and that is when I'm going to get that particular percentage. So when you break down your goal, like a long-term goal for your TY to first year, second year, third year, this is breaking a goal into actionable chunks. Then what you're going to do in the first year. So like this, when you break down your goal, you minimize the risk, and you minimize guessing and fear. For us, when we open our books the very last minute, we are only guessing, okay, what should I do first? Is this more important than the other part? So you are constantly guessing, and it also induces a lot of fear. Am I going to finish all of this portion? when you set a goal and you say, by this time I'm going to finish this many things, it helps you achieve it. And then it also helps you, like, minimize all the guesswork that goes in that, because we waste a lot of time guessing, okay, is this more important than that, should I do this or that? So all of this minimizes if you have a plan. And the last aspect is the lucrative of a goal. So when it gets tough, when that student, was tired, the whole aspect of a lucrative goal comes into picture. So you gotta ask yourself, what's in it for you? What do you get through this goal? So for that student, when he got tired and during this whole goal thing, he remembered that within that few months he would get his bachelor's degree, his certificate. That was a lucrative aspect of his goal. So sometimes it need not be monetary. It need not be like you receiving money. It can be anything. It can be you learning a skill. So your goal should also have a lucrative aspect to it. Just because when you get tired and when you have identified everything that stand to gain if you achieve this goal, you also realize what you stand to lose if you don't achieve this goal, and that helps you. So yes, while we achieve our goals, we may experience difficulty. It may be very difficult for us sometimes, but we need not accept defeat. We got to work towards it. And one way is smart and real. Now, how to lay down your master plan and how to achieve it, our next our counselor Neha is going to talk to you all about it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Neha Musulkar, and as thank you, Kimberly, so much. So I'm going to speak about how do you have to manage yourself and how do you plan and organize your goals. But before we do so, I'm going to speak about few things that is very important when you set a goal. Okay, you need to work with certain things when you are about to achieve your goal. So as you can see the triangle in front of you, you can see 3 points. That is one, resolving your self issue with yourself, then updating, and then you have working with others' emotions. And then you can see 3 arrows, learning process, implication, and feedback. Now, the first thing that you need to focus on when you have already decided on your ultimate goal is resolving your own self issue with emotions. See, there are certain unresourceful and resourceful emotions that can interfere with your goal. Now, resourceful emotions will give you a good outcome, will help you to go forward with to reach your ultimate goal. But the unresourceful one will always make you stray away from the goal. You can always turn the unresourceful emotions to a resourceful one. If you have anger, use the same anger to direct you to achieve the goal. Challenge yourself to go ahead with the goal. Now, after you know which are the resourceful and the unresourceful one, the next step is for you to now learn how to manage the emotions. Now, when you're managing, you can use 2 things. One is you can manage your emotion through counseling or through therapy. And of course, by self managing and by making a chart, and you're able to direct yourself. Once you're able to know the resourceful and unresourceful emotions, you are now going up to the updating yourself. You need to update yourself with the knowledge of today's world. Now here updation, it will be with relevance to your the goal that you want to achieve. Now here can be anything, can be your goal. Like for example, you want to finish your graduation. Now you cannot only say that, okay, I want to finish my graduation by 2023. You need to make sure you have those relevant steps. You need to know what is needed for you to complete these steps. You need to know what is going around in the world, because while you're graduating, you need to start preparing for the world. You, while graduating, you also need to make sure that you are emotionally prepared to achieve your goal, because the unresourceful one will always pull you outside. As I said, will always pull you out and direct you in a different direction when you're going ahead with your ultimate goal. Once you have updated your knowledge, the next is to imply it onto others. A lot of times what happens is that when you are having conversation with others, with your parents, with your teachers, with your colleagues, or with your friends, you are unable to understand or work with them. A lot of time that is because you have the unresolved emotions with you, and the other person also have the unresolved emotions, and what happens is it clashes. So to understand the others, or to work with others, it is very important to know how your emotions are making you work. And then once you know how your emotions are making you work, it will be easier for you to work with others, because then you will be able to know how their emotions are working. It will help you to focus more onto yourself. That is when you will be able to give yourself the feedback that the other person is going through, and work again with yourself. So this triangle is going to be there with you throughout your life. It can be after the graduation, when you're going for further studies, for interview, you need to know two things, that is what you want to achieve and how these emotions are influencing you. Now let me give a very relevant example. For example, we have the recent news. Sneha Dubey, she's the IFS officer, the International Foreign Service officer, who made a huge roar at the UN, speaking about her how she felt of how the ministry is treating the terrorist as their motive, and supporting them there. If Sneha Dubey did not have her emotions, resourceful emotions together, and did not recognize her unresourceful emotions, she would not know where to go. Today, she's an IFS officer, the first one in India. That is because she knew what she wanted to achieve. And she started preparing for it for 1 year, 2 years at least. So the same way, when you are preparing for your goal, you need to make sure, you need to know where you're heading. You need to start preparing at least a year ahead, which is why your first year makes your foundation. This is a very important foundation which will help you to graduate in next 2 years. If you feel that I can take it easy this year, maybe next year I will start focusing, it will always go forward. That is because your unresourceful emotions are pushing you go ahead. Now, let me give you another example of why you need to focus on emotions when you're going towards your goal. Now, for example, when your parents, mother or dad, is cooking a meal for you, lunch or dinner, they will ask you that, okay, there are certain ingredients that are missing. I want you to go and get it, right? And what will happen is that you will go and get it and give it to them. Now, when they are preparing a meal, they know what they are preparing. They know how they feel about that meal. They like it. For example, fish curry rice. Everybody likes it, right? So you will know how they will know how they like it. They will know how you like it. They know how you feel about this meal. After that, they will know what all ingredients they require. They will organize it accordingly, and then they will prepare the meal. Now, if your parents, the difference is here is that if your parents are not in good mood, you will see the difference in the taste as well. That is because when we are trying to meet our ultimate goal, our emotion starts influencing us. So the next thing The next thing that I would like to for you to see is this picture. Now here there are two scenarios. One, there is a winner, and one, there is a loser. Now here you can see that the person who has kicked the goal, it has entered the net. That is because the person is highly focused where he wants to aim, and the other person has missed the goal, maybe because he wasn't able to focus, or maybe his emotions were also influencing him. The other person is able to focus, play with his emotion, see the unresourceful emotion, work with the unresourceful emotion, and then he's able to gain that goal. This is exactly how you need to aim yourself. You need to see where you're heading. If you're heading ahead, you need to make sure what are the things that are influencing you. Work with those influencing. I and Kimberly are there to work with you. And while you're going ahead, if you feel that there are certain barriers that are going to stop you from achieving your goal, then you can, of course, come and discuss it with us. Now, let us focus on two efforts that you try to put. There are two types of efforts that every person tries to put, that is reactive work and proactive work. Now reactive work is something that you do on daily basis. Every day you have certain work to achieve, your daily routine, you maybe your urgent task, you're resolving anything that is every day is your reactive work. Now here you have to complete, okay, because of which your proactive, that is your ultimate goal, the keys that you have focused on, it will get affected. Now it is on you, where do you want to focus. Reactive is something that is every day, that is going to be there throughout, and proactive is your ultimate goal, where you need to remove time, you need to make a timetable, you need to focus and push yourself. Your efforts are way more. Now it is up to you, where do you want to put your efforts, on the reactive work or the proactive work. Now that is when you will need to plan your entire system. Now when you are in the pro work, when you are doing the proactive work, things, you need to make things happen, you need to focus more on things that need to happen in your career, in your relationship with your parents or everybody else, with your financial everything. You will have to put in efforts. Reactive works is something where others are telling you to get things done. Your house choirs, your TY, you need to graduate yourself, you need to focus onto your health, physical health, everything that you need to get it done. So you need to make sure, where do you want to focus more. So to help you more further, the first you need to focus more on is your master plan. It is very, very important to have a master plan today. Simply because if you are not having a planner with you, you will know which direction you are heading. So the first thing that you need to know is understanding of self for others. Simple reason is why, when you know where your emotions, your behavior, or anything that is influencing you, if you're able to understand yourself, then you'll be able to project with others, and then help the others also to interact with you very well. And then of course, planning for your goals, organizing, executing the plan, and tracking your progress is very, very important. So the first thing that we are focusing on is understanding yourself for others. So understanding for self for others is a very important part. Here you need to first understand that all the resources to make any changes in yourself is within you. We always think that I can't manage my anger, I can't manage my frustration, I cannot go ahead, I'm very sad, I'm unable to do so. When you say I cannot, I can't, I will not, it's because you are deciding, you are choosing not to do so. It is when you say, maybe I can, maybe let me try. When you change the language, when you're choosing to go ahead and just give it a try, you are choosing the resourceful one from your system to make it more resourceful. So remember, you don't, it is not always that you don't have the resources within you. You always have the resources to make those changes in you. Of course, we are going to guide you through. Of course, we are going to be there throughout the year to make things more easier for you. But you always need to remember that you don't have to completely depend on somebody else. You can motivate yourself to go ahead. And with your motivation and our guidance, we can always push you further. Second thing that you need to that is there is that human make choices given their abilities, skilled, learned, and resources available to them. Now, every choices that you are going to make in your life is going to be dependent on what is available around you. Everybody does that. Now, let me give you for example. If somebody has done a robbery, okay, that is because that was the ultimate thing that motivated him, that because I don't have the money with me, this is the best thing that I could do. Now here you cannot judge the person. Instead, you can do is understand why that person has done so and maybe guide that person. That is why first you need to resolve the unresolved emotions. Everyone is your map is not your territory. Everyone is made of a particular map. Now your map is your identity. Now your name, your family, your culture, your religion, your socio-economic your your social life, everything makes your map. Now if you're not ready to be flexible, interact with others, you will not be able to connect with others meaningfully. So which is why first you need to know what are you made of, then understand how the other person must have, what other person is made of, understand the culture that the person is coming from, understand the religion, understand the background, everything else to make a meaningful collection. There is no mistake in communication, only feedback. Now all most of the time when you are in class and you are asked a question, you do not respond most of the time. Some will and some will not. That is because you may think that whatever you may speak may be a mistake. There is no mistake, there is always a feedback. Your teachers are going to give you a feedback of what you are trying to say, and once you're able to use that feedback correctly, you'll be able to communicate even more further. This happens a lot when you are trying to have a conversation with your parents. When you're talking to your parents, you feel that they do not understand you, and parents sometimes feel that maybe my child doesn't understand me. It would be the communication gap will be broken once you understand how the feedback works. When you know that your parent is not responding to you in a particular manner, that is maybe because you have encoded a message in a different way. Maybe try to understand what their map is made of, understand what is the social culture that they are from, what are the troubles that they must be going through, how are their upbringing was. Okay, everything you need to understand when you are trying to communicate. Now this is going to help you to make a better relation with your parents, and also when you make a better relation with your parent, they are also going to give their feedback. They are going to tell you how to go ahead with your goal. After that, now, let's focus on planning. The first thing that you need to focus on is prioritizing your plan. Now, here you can see a small chart wherein I have put my name and the three focus areas. You can use even more focus areas if you like. You need to have your goals set up under each sub goals. Now in career, what do I need to achieve? Under personal, what do I need to achieve? And in social, what do I need to achieve? You need to make sure it's not always that you only have to focus on to only career. As a person, you need to focus on all the other factors of your life. What How better you want to make your relation with your parents and friends, how do you contribute to the society. That one kind of kindness, one act of kindness can make a difference in somebody's life, right? So you need to know what is important for you and create that as your ultimate goal. Now this ultimate goal is for you to achieve in a 6 or 1 year period of time. So you have to keep a goal in such a way that you slowly you're achieving it. And within that ultimate goal, there will be small steps below to be achieved to reach that ultimate goal. Now here you can see that when I need to complete my graduation. Okay, I have not put the time bound, but you need to put a time bound there. Let's just say to 2023 I need to complete my graduation. Now that is my ultimate goal. Smaller steps that are going to follow it are your small achievable goals. You need to make sure that there are steps involved, step by step, every day, every month, every 2-3 months at least. You need to see what are the steps that you are achieving it not. If you feel that you are unable to achieve it, if you feel that okay, this is not the goal that is I'm able to achieve, you will see that you'll need to change that path. Planning in detail. You need to plan in detail what do you want, as I said, what do you want to achieve ultimately. So as a planner, if my ultimate plan is to complete my graduation by 2023, I need to make a planner accordingly. So first thing that I will require is a study chart. Now study chart is a very important part when you are trying to achieve graduation or any other examination that you want to pass. Okay, that is because it is visual cues are going to help you focus even more. We work on two factors. One is the visual cue and one is the verbal. When you are able to train your verbal and visual cue, you will be able to focus even more. So clear. Second is clearing my papers every semester. Now this is your small goals to achieve. Once you have made your planner, once you know what are the steps to achieve, I know that every day I need to give that 1 hour of time for studies, 1 hour for my personal, and 1 hour to make some difference in somebody's life. You are ultimately making small planners to achieve that even more smaller goal, that will be clearing your semester. Then you take mock test. Now mock test is going to help you measure whether you are going ahead and reaching your ultimate goal. Now when you are taking mock test, if you are failing, then it is going to tell you that okay, there is something that is steps that you have taken is not enough, or you need to put in more time, or you need to try something more or something different. Everything needs to be time bounded. Very important. If I say, okay, I will complete my graduation, okay, like the previous one here, in the career part, you can see that I have just put, I will complete my graduation. If this is the only thing that I am, uh, sorry, uh, if you can see the chart, if under the career part, if you only put that I'm only going to complete my graduation, then you are not putting a time bound to it, which means you will take even more time to complete it. When you put a time bound, you are telling your system, your mind and your body that there is a time that you need to complete, there is a time frame that you need to meet. So when you put a clear time frame, you are going to prepare accordingly. Okay, you will be able to focus even more. So make sure you put that time bound. Third thing that we are going to focus on is organizing. Organizing is very, very important. You need to keep updating your knowledge. If you are not updating yourself, then you will not be able to catch up with the rest of the world. There are so many competitive exams that people prepare. Papers gets changed, syllabus gets updated every now and then. So you also need to get updated with along with that. Even when you're interacting with your friends, colleagues, or parents, you also need to update how do I connect with my parents? How do I connect with others? So you need to know ways of connecting. Connecting in the right manner. Second thing that you need to focus on is reading books, ebooks, papers. Now, books are very important way of reaching of upgrading yourself. You'll be able to improvise your vocabulary. Along with that, you'll be able to provide even more knowledge. Even if it is not under your TY syllabus, it is better to read even more and more, because it is going to be useful somewhere in your masters, or further on. Even when you are giving interview or when you are connecting with somebody, those words when you're reading, it is going to make meaning out of it. Newspaper play a huge role in our life, simply because it is going to help you. As I said, it's going to help you with updating knowledge, what is new in the world, what is getting updated here. You need to see. Now when you are reading the newspaper, there will be times when you open the newspaper, you'll be I don't want to read it anymore, and you close it and keep it away. So what I do usually is that when I open the newspaper, I make sure that I keep reading the titles. whatever is interesting for me, I will read upon that area. And then it is going to be, what happens is that if I keep doing this every day, it is eventually going to be a habit. So if you are a new reader, I would advise you just open the newspaper. There are e-newspapers which are available online as well, of Herald and Naveen. Everything is available online today. Open it, just go through the title, and whatever is interesting you, keeping your interest, you read upon that. Okay, that is going to help you to start, bring out the habit of reading a newspaper. Okay, and this is also useful for if you are going to answer any competitive exam, or even if you are going to answer an interview, or even if you're going to go further and study. It is going to help you somewhere or the other. No knowledge goes to waste. Every knowledge is utilized somewhere or the other. Have a checklist for small goals. This is important for everyday life. Now you need to make a certain schedule of what you need to achieve in your proactive work. You need to mark that, and if you have achieved, you tick mark it. This is going to help you bring about system. We need to introduce a system today, because when you pass out from here, and when you are applying more further, that casual that we always have this casual behavior towards our goals, towards anything else, that is going to go with this. When you are more organized, when you introduce a system, it is going to go. You will be more and more organized, and that is what is going to make you help connect with more people, meaningful people. You can also do is, you can take these short courses which I have already put down. This is going to help you to update your knowledge. The two that you can see above are the international site, where you get free courses, certification courses that you can do over whatever the topic, however the topic is that interests you the most, you can complete it there. And the second two are the Indian one, that you can go through and see the courses that are meaningful to you, and that is going to help you go further in your career. You can use this. Next one is planning in action. You need to make sure that however you have planned, ultimate goal, setting the small steps to meet those small goals, like completing your semester exam or passing your semester exam. You also need to see the trial and error of your plan. If you know that I'm going to answer my first semester, let's just say by end of November, then you need to try it out. You need to give yourself a mock test. You need to make sure that to see whether you are going ahead or not. If there is something that is making your grades fall, then you need to again plan, do some other, take about other steps that are going to help you achieve it. The same thing is for your connecting with others. When you are trying to connect with others, you need to form steps of how to connect meaningfully with others. Okay, then you need to also do is whatever the error, this error is basically your feedback. What has gone wrong, what is the step that you need to redo, is something that you need to focus on. Very important part is making meaningful connection with others. Now this is very important, because how you are connecting with others is going to make your plan, your goal should match with your friends goals, and your goal should match. Then only you will be able to go ahead and achieve that. Now if you are in a circle of group who have a different plan, maybe something that is unresourceful, then you will also become unresourceful. Which is why when you're making connection, when you're making friends, please make sure you are making resourceful one, which are helping you grow, which are helping you define you even more, challenge you more, and reach your ultimate goal. People around you will always define you. You know, who are you roaming with, who are you doing the certification with, will always help you go further and further. Now for example, Mark Zuckerberg was the one who made the Facebook, was had a cling of group who were helping him to form what he imagined. There was a vision in him that he wants to create a social media, a platform where everybody could connect, right? Instagram, LinkedIn, everybody had a vision, and he had those people, he had those friends and colleagues who worked with him. That is why he was able to achieve that. Same with you. If you want to achieve something, then you need to make sure that the friends that you have are along with you when you're going ahead with your ultimate goal. use technology, keep going with the technology, update yourself here. Now Facebook, Instagram is something that everybody uses today, but you can also use Facebook and Instagram for a meaningful reason. On Facebook you can find people who will add upon to your knowledge. You can connect with them, ask them questions. If you have interest in a particular career, if you have interest in a particular field, you can always ask them, how is this field, how is this helping you, how can you go ahead and achieve that same field. And I'm sure there are many people who will help you to guide through. Use apps to challenge yourself. These 21 days challenge app, which you can download on any Google app or on your iOS app, wherein you can make this 21 days challenge app, which is going to help you challenge every day. So you every day you have to keep a goal and you have to challenge yourself to complete it. It can be in your social, can be in your personal, can be in your career wise, anything. You have to make sure you keep a goal. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because the more you start focusing, the more you're able to focus, you will achieve. Who had huge challenges, she had to face so many challenges in life just to achieve this sport in boxing, that she had to. Another way, the last part is tracking your progress. Tracking your progress is a very important step, because even though you have planned, even though you have tested yourself, even though you are going ahead, how do you know you are on your path? Is by testing yourself or checking your progress. How much time you have given, how much progress you have made in that field. So here is one thing that you can use, is something called as token of economy. Now, in token of economy, you can see the picture. Okay. You can see the picture, my token board, where every day the person, this is usually used for children, but you can of course change it, modify it according to your convenience. Every day you make 100, at least 100 challenges for yourself to achieve, and every day and that 100th one is will be your ultimate goal. So every day you'll write one steps to reach your ultimate goal. And what you are going to do is that you are going to give yourself points. Okay, and with that points, what you are going to do is ultimately you're going to give yourself a reward. There is no punishment here, there is only reward system. So for example, make a study table. This is my small step, small goal. Prepare for exam, learning, mock testing, revision. These are my small steps. And then ultimate goal is at least achieving, okay, at least achieving 90 out of 100. Now, this is something that you have visioned high. Okay, it's not unrealistic. It is achievable if you have followed that 100 days. Okay, so you have to aim high to at least reach somewhere. Once you have, let's just say you have achieved your 90%, you give yourself the ultimate goal, the ultimate point, that is your 50 points. And then you give, if you weren't able to achieve that ultimate goal, then you give yourself 10 points. And once you know how many points are you gathering every day, you collect it and you give yourself a reward. Now, reward is very, very important, because this is going to help you motivate even more further to achieve things that was difficult. Okay, so to go ahead, to start off, the first thing that I would ask you to do is to differentiate between the wishful and ultimate goal. See what you really want to achieve. Once you know what you want to achieve, then draw steps, make a planner to achieve, introduce a system. Every day, make sure you at least give 1 hour to your studies, 1 hour for personal, 1 hour for your parent, 1 hour for your friends. If you divide time, you'll be able to achieve anything. Okay, and after that, test, see how your communication, your relation is going. So in your exam, you will obviously give a mock test to test whether you are going ahead and able to pass the semester and ultimately pass your graduation. To know that you are whether meeting your personal goal. If your personal goal is to make sure that you lose weight, for example, if it is for you to lose weight, then every day whenever you are going to check, after 2 days you will check your weight. If it is reducing, then you are going ahead to and meeting your ultimate goal of reducing the weight. If you're thinking about social goal, then you will be able to check when you're communicating with others, if the other person, your parent, your teachers, your colleagues or other friends are able to understand and work with you and give you feedback, then you have reached your ultimate goal. So this was our session with you on goal setting. I hope you liked it, and I hope that you will further connect with us. These are our contact numbers. Kimberly's and mine are already there. There is two emails that are given. One is of the Instagram, and another one is of the ID of the college, where you can email us anything, any query. The number is already displayed. Please make sure that you use the resources that is given by the Rosary College to make sure you connect and resolve your issues. If you feel there is any block that is coming in your way, make sure you use these numbers, call us, connect with us, and we'll be able to guide you further. Thank you.